Right guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video. So we got some big breaking transfer news. Trent Alexander-Arnold is going to leave Liverpool to join Real Madrid on a free. Now, I think we all knew that this was coming, but it has now been confirmed by Fabrizio Romano himself. And, like I just said, we all knew that this was coming. But now that it is official, it does feel a little bit weird. Listen, I'm not a Liverpool fan. I'm a Manchester United fan. I'm glad to see Trent leave Liverpool because he is one of their best players. Um, but people moan, about Trent leaving because he's a homegrown player. He's come through the academy at Liverpool, so I can see why people are annoyed at that. But at the end of the day, it's his life. Let him live the way he wants to live his life. If he wants to join Real Madrid, let him join Real Madrid. If he wants to experience a different league, that's what he's going to do, and that's what he has done. The decision has been made. I don't agree with these pundits slating Trent Alexander-Arnold for his decision. I don't understand it because the fact of the matter is I've always said this. When Real Madrid come knocking, you're going to leave most likely. No player really is going to turn down Real Madrid if we're being brutally honest. And I think most people are annoyed at Trent because he's going on a free, and he's run down his contract. So Liverpool are going to get no money for Trent. I think if Liverpool were to get money for Trent, they probably would have got access of about 80 million and more, to be honest, because he is a very technical right back. We've never really seen anyone like Trent before in that right back position. And I do think Liverpool will struggle without Trent. I do believe though Conor Bradley can do a job at right back. However, I do think Liverpool will sign a right back in the summer. If I was to sign a right back for Liverpool, I probably would break the bank to sign Jeremy Frimpong. Very similar player to Trent, but he can defend better. So if I'm Liverpool, I'm breaking the bank to get Jeremy Frimpong. I do think Liverpool are going to need a right back. I think Conor Bradley can do a job, but I still think they're going to need someone a little bit more experienced than Conor Bradley, to be honest. But for Real Madrid, let's talk about what a player Real Madrid are going to get. For me, it's the perfect replacement for Danny Carvajal. Danny Carvajal's a legend at Real Madrid. He's been there for so long, won everything, Danny Carvajal. And, this always seemed like this was going to be the replacement, and it will be the replacement. And I think Trent's going to do very well in La Liga. Listen, it might take time for him to adjust, like it does for most players going to a new league. But I think he'll do absolutely fine. And I can't help but think that Jude Bellingham has been a massive person that has persuaded Trent to come and join Real Madrid. Obviously, we know that Trent and Jude are like best mates. So Jude would have had a say on this 100%. But then again, we all knew Trent was going to run down his contract. Like he wasn't going to go anywhere else, was he? It's always been Real Madrid or either sign the Liverpool contract, and he's chosen Real Madrid. I think Liverpool fans hoped that Trent, Salah, and Van Dijk would all sign the contract because all of them were out of contract this summer. They've got Van Dijk and Salah to sign, but obviously Trent has decided to move on. But Trent's won everything. He's won everything at Liverpool. Champions League. He's won the Premier League twice. Carabao Cup, FA Cup. He's won everything there is to win. And he wants to go and experience something new. And you've got to let him have that choice. You know, Liverpool fans are not going to like it. I understand it. This is a bit like, say, for United at the minute, this is a bit like, I don't know, Kobbie Mainoo leaving Manchester United. I'm hoping Kobbie doesn't leave. I don't think he will leave. But that's what it probably feels like to Liverpool fans. You know, it's a homegrown player leaving. I understand the frustration, but he's been there for so long. I think he's been there since he was like 6 or 7 years old. Like, you've got to let him do what he wants, and Trent is clearly doing that. I mean, it'll be very interesting, like, to see next season if Liverpool get Real Madrid in the Champions League. That will be especially at Anfield. Can you imagine if it's at Anfield? Oh my days! But I actually don't. If that happens, I don't know how Liverpool fans would react to Trent. I think most people will probably boo Trent, if I'm being brutally honest. Which I just don't understand. I don't understand. He's been a brilliant servant to the club. You know, like I just said, won everything. You can't win anything else at Liverpool. You know, let him go to La Liga, play in a different league, learn a new culture, learn a new language. Just let him do what he wants. And, you know, it's a big blow for Liverpool. It is a big blow. I mean, I suppose Liverpool fans get in the comments, like, out of the 3 that were running out of contract, Salah, Van Dijk and Trent, if I had to pick one that I wanted to leave, it probably would be Trent. It probably would be Trent. If I was a Liverpool fan, I would want Trent to leave out of them 3. If I had to pick one to leave, it would be Trent. You know, because Van Dijk and Salah, Van Dijk's the best centre-back in the world. Salah's the best right winger in the world, certainly one of the best attackers in the world as well. So I would have chose Trent. But yeah, really, really interesting. You know, that probably is the biggest transfer so far, and it's on a free. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comments your thoughts on this move by Trent. I feel like there's going to be a lot of debate, even though we kind of all knew that this was going to happen. Like, it was always inevitable. But yeah, so interesting to see how Trent's going to do next season in a Real Madrid shirt. And it's going to be weird as well. It's going to be weird seeing Trent in all white and not all red. That's going to take some getting used to. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching this video. Guys, we are going to do more of these. We are going to do more transfer videos this summer. And this is the first one of the year. So make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications. I'll catch you later.